Welcome back to the Joke Zero podcast, where we're talking about all things indie filmmaking. And this season, we are focusing on Joke Zero's first ever feature film called Plan B, which is out now, starring Jamie Lee and John Heater and a bunch of other amazing actors. And so we are talking to everyone involved in the film, in front of the camera, behind the camera. And I'm very excited because today our guest on the podcast is one of our actors in the film. He plays an angry father. And we're talking to John P Coulter. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me.
You have a really good energy. I already can tell you're a person people like having on set, right? You probably get that.
There's a million things that can and do go wrong on sets, and I don't like to be one of them.
Of course not. No. And you have a very fun story with this movie. So obviously, being kind on set can only come back as good karma. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about you've had an amazing career. You're a voiceover artist, you're an actor, you model, you do a kind of, it seems like you have your toe in a bunch of different areas in this industry. And you said you were a retired truck driver. So what got you, what was it that got you into the entertainment industry?
When I was a truck driver, it was 9 to 5. Here's your keys, here's your paperwork, there's your truck, here's your pay at the end of the week. With being in the entertainment industry, I need to hustle and I don't say no to any project. Why limit yourself? Why say, well, I just want to be an actor? If someone says, hey, you want to be in my play? Do you want to come and host this event for me? You've got a great presence. It can only make me better at everything if I try a little bit of everything.
It's so true. I wanted to ask you, so you had a very interesting position on set because I think you were originally cast as an extra, right? And then you were bumped up, which is everyone's dream who's ever worked on a set out there. A lot of people listening to this work in indie filmmaking and stuff. So I want to know what that was like going in thinking you're going to do some extra work, you're going to meet some cool people, whatever, and then getting bumped up with a line. That's awesome.
To tell you the truth, I kind of just went for it. I was just supposed to growl. This was the whole thing was just this. "Arr." That was my line. That was it. That was all I had. And I asked the owner of the establishment we were shooting at, no spoiler alerts, if he had a certain prop that I needed. And he said yes. And I broke the piece. They didn't think I could do it. And I'm a strong enough kind of guy. I broke it and they were like, oh my God. And I got bumped up because of it instead of getting told to go sit down. Everybody there on the crew kind of afterward, they were like, that's going to make that scene. That was great.
I love that. And it's a very funny and memorable moment. I love that you were like, no spoilers. I'm like, I guess I won't spoil it either.
I'm going to give the spoilers because I think it'll make this much more entertaining. In the scene, there's a little annoying kid on a mini golf course, and he's really interacting with really our main character, Piper, kind of ruins a date that she's on. And then he gets yelled at by Piper's date, and then he runs off to his dad, who is this really tough, angry dad played by John. And in the script, he was just meant to look angry, kind of do a little grunt like John mentioned. And then as we're getting ready to film this, John said to me, would you want me to snap the golf club in half? And I said, if you're physically able to do that, absolutely, let's do it. And then we did a take, and I didn't even really mention that to anyone else on the crew. I didn't mention it to the DP. And we just filmed it, and no one was expecting it to happen except me. And John did mention it to me like a couple hours before, so I kind of forgot about it. And then John just did it on camera, and it was totally electric, and really the whole crew thought it was awesome. And then we did actually we did one more take of it for safety, and John ended up snapping 2 golf clubs in half, which was pretty funny because they were real golf clubs. We were filming on location at an actual mini golf course.
I really hope they saved those broken clubs and, put them on the wall and said, this is from our feature film, something like that.
One of them is in my veggie garden holding
Nice.
up my tomatoes. So I took it and I brought it home. My wife's like, what? And I'm like, this is a trophy.
So funny. We have to ask you a little bit about you've worked on a very popular show we saw called Impractical Jokers, which if you're a fan of comedy, I'm sure you know the Jokers and you're a fan of that show. So I have to ask you what that experience was like. You had a very memorable scene on that show.
I was naked on national television for that show. And there was no towels. We were everybody in that scene. And it has given me a lot of confidence to say I can do anything. And I've done modeling I've done underwear modeling after that. And I'm a bigger guy.
Go off. Okay.
I got there, and anytime I'm on a project, I give it my 1,000,000%. And they liked my dancing and they liked everything that I was about. So they made me featured. They made me the lead punishment. And they had an idea for the ending, and I didn't ask permission. I just went for it. And what I did with the article, the towel that belonged to the practical joker that I was punishing. I did something a little different with it. Instead of wiping it on my armpits, I toweled off a different area of my body and then hit him in the face with it. And even when you watch the episode, they're like, "Oh my God, oh big guy, go!" They came up to me after, like, that was amazing.
That's so funny. Were you a fan of the show before you worked on it?
I had never seen the show before I worked on it. I got an audition request from them. They said, "We saw you on this casting site. We need a big guy with a beard. Can you do the electric slide?" Yeah, but I only do it at weddings. And they were like, "Okay, you're our guy. Come on. You're in Brooklyn Thursday. Let's go."
Were you hesitant when they were like, "Oh, and by the way, we need clothing off for this"?
No, no, I was nervous, yes, but hesitant. No, I was like, I'm going to do this. This is an amazing war story. This is an amazing growth spurt for me. This is an amazing placement for myself and for my brand and who I am. I can promote myself on national television. Go for it. Just because it calls for you to be without clothing. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable who I am. You have to be an actor.
And those guys are all so professional. They've been doing this for years. I'm sure they were really kind on set and they were like taking care of you.
They had some of the nicest equipment I've ever seen. There were cameras everywhere, a lot of really nice equipment, a lot of really nice people.
I love that.
John, just to jump in for a sec, I actually saw you recently in a commercial, maybe for like SEPTA or NJ Transit or something. Did you do some kind of transportation commercial?
I didn't do one for transit. I did one for the New Jersey Lottery.
That's what it was. Yeah, I saw you in the New Jersey Lottery one. I knew it was something.
That was a pretty cool gig, yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine. That was awesome because, yeah, I saw you on TV and got excited, paused there. I was like, oh, I know him.
I know that guy. I get a lot of phone calls at like 9:30 at night from my mom and dad. "Oh my God, honey, we saw you. You're doing the wallet thing. Oh my God, you're a tow truck company." I have some very close family members that are huge supporters of me being an actor and being in the entertainment industry.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, at one point I had a TV commercial out and my doctor was on vacation in Hawaii. His kids are watching television and he came into the bedroom and he heard my voice and he's looking around and there I am on the television in Hawaii on a TV commercial and he's telling his kids, "I know that guy." It's just fun when people find out, especially my mom. When my mom finds out, everybody finds out. When she sees I've done something and all of her girlfriends, all of my uncles and aunts, all of my cousins get an email. She posts things before I do when she sees them.
Oh, that's a nice mom.
Yeah, she likes that I'm being creative.
I think that's great. And I honestly believe that you're such a good example of like someone who is like, I'm creative. I want to work in this industry. You don't have to move to LA or New York to necessarily be an actor. Like there's a lot of production in other cities and Philly is one of them. And it's really cool that you are able to like kind of get the attention of this market in a city that wants to hire locally, probably most of the time too.
Yeah, the Lehigh Valley is doing really well with films and filmmaking. I do a lot of work in Wilmington, Delaware, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You're driving along cornfields, and all of a sudden there is a multi-million-dollar production facility in a cornfield with thousands and thousands and millions of dollars of equipment. And they're shooting this huge commercial indoors. And then when you show it, I'm skipping through a field, but I was indoors all day.
That's cool.
It's really cool. There's a lot of work, but you got to hustle. It's a lot of hustle.
It's a lot of hustle. It's also a lot of who you know, keep the relationships going. You seem to be in the right headspace for it, though. I think a lot of people get burnt out and are over it, and you're excited by all the work.
Yeah, well, that's my work ethic from being a truck driver and a 9 to 5 for 31 years. I feel as though I should be working every day. I want to. I hit the audition pages every day, 3 or 4 of them. I audition for everything I can. My wife is my IT guy and my reader and wardrobe and makeup, and she does it for a very specific reason. She wants me to introduce her to The Rock. You're going to get famous. I want to meet The Rock. And I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here,
Oh my God. I can't wait for you to work with The Rock one day and you'd be like, I've been doing this for years. You got to meet my wife.
Listen, you got to help me out with this one thing, okay? All you got to do is meet her.
That's so funny.
Yeah. My age and my maturity level And the fact that I traveled America as a truck driver, meeting, you're not just constantly meeting the same Philly people. I did a movie in Arizona. I lived in Arizona for a couple of months and we shot scenes in Arizona. I was starting to feel like this is the right path for me. It takes a couple of years. And the one that wins is the one with the thickest skin that stays in the game. If somebody wants me to be a swimsuit model at, 336 pounds and 6'1", I'm going to be the guy that if they want me, then I'll do it. I'm happy to do it.
Great. Well, I think that's Brandon's next project, actually. It's a swimsuit modeling competition series. So
very well could be. But yeah, John's definitely on my radar for all future projects.
you're in.
Oh, hey, I love that fact. I love to be part of the family. I'm making your life easier. That's part of my job.
I'll say, yeah, the one time I had you on set, you made my life easier and you definitely enhanced the scene.
Thank you. I try. I really do. I'm not the star. The project's the star.
That was great. This was therapeutic for me as well. Honestly, seriously, I said it from the start. Your energy and just your attitude about the industry is it's very helpful. So I hope people listening to this can really, take something away from it.
I hope so too. I hope any of the pitfalls and any of the things that I've learned by doing this for these last couple of years, 6, 7, 8 years now, if I can save any actor, not male or female or young or old, any actor, if I can help them from not tripping where I tripped, then that's what we all have to do. We're all on the same planet. We're all making the project the best we can. If you're not making the project the best you can, then maybe you should not be on the project.
Well, you made Plan B a better project. So thank you so much for joining us today. And make sure we tell everyone you can watch Plan B right now out on Amazon and Apple and Fandango and wherever else you like to stream and rent or buy a movie. So congrats to you on that. And thanks for joining us.
I had a great time. If you don't mind, my website is John P Coulter, COULTER.com, johnpcoulter.com, and you can book me there.
And do you have an Instagram as well to plug?
I do. I have John_P_Coulter_actor.
Love it.
Mr. Red Suit is coming up in December.
Go book him to be your Santa Claus. Hell yeah.
Yeah, during the week, because I am the official New Jersey Polar Express Santa.
Wow.
So I'm on the Polar Express in New Jersey every weekend in December.
That's cool.
So yeah, I like when I get big jobs. I like when people like to have me back.
That's it. Thanks for joining us. You're awesome.